So, why are they calling this guy, Bernie Sanders, breadline Bernie? That's the question. It's kind of strange, huh? Well, look, first of all, imagine for a second. Imagine if I had a bottle of a drink. It said Coca-Cola on it. You'd expect Coca-Cola if you took a glass of it, right? Well, if half an hour prior to that, I took out the Coca-Cola and I put in a generic cola, you'd feel you've been swindled, right? If I then gave it to you and tried to charge you for a glass of Coca-Cola. Well, this is the deal with Bernie Sanders. He's trying to say that he's a Democrat. Well, he's running as a Democrat. He believes in democratic socialism. He's trying to say he's not a communist. He's trying to say that what he really likes is the Swedish model of socialism. Okay, this is a BS. I'll tell you for several reasons. One, minimum wage. He believes in a minimum wage. Okay, in Scandinavia, there's no minimum wage. Okay. Second, Bernie Sanders is somebody that believes in nationalizing industries. Energy, for example, which is a huge industry. He wants to nationalize it. In the past, he's spoken about nationalizing industries. He's in favor of workers having the control of the means of production. These are communist ideas. These are not Swedish or Norwegian or Danish ideas. These are communist ideas. Okay. Also, regarding taxes, he's in favor of high taxes if you're rich and low taxes if you're poor. Well, that's not Scandinavia. In Scandinavia, you make $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year. You're looking at paying taxes over 40%. Okay? This is different, okay? That's not what Bernie Sanders is proposing. Something else. In Scandinavia, they try to do things in a way that's win-win for everybody, which means basically that, yes, you do have things like health care and free college, etc., but you pay taxes like you would not believe. 25% sales tax, okay? Very high. And you do not attack the rich. In Scandinavia, there's not this tremendous attack against the rich, but Bernie Sanders attacks the rich, okay? He wants to go after the 1%. The 1% of the people that create jobs in America, that give you business if you're a small business owner. These are the people that basically pay a competitive wage. They're people who are innovators, who work hard, who risk money, and sometimes go bankrupt because it doesn't work out, okay? But they're trying to implement a good idea and to basically create jobs because they want to make money. Okay, that's the fundamental part of the capitalist system. People come to the United States, my dear Hispanic friends, because why? You want to do better, okay? And if you have people that are making tons of money, okay, well then there's a chance that maybe you can work with them and make a lot of money as well, okay? But the worst thing about with Bernie Sanders is this idea that he thinks he can get away with telling you that he's in favor of Scandinavian type socialism, but the Scandinavians are very careful about studying what the impact, the implications, the ramifications, the consequences are for social policies, okay? So for them, that's important. But Bernie Sanders, that's out the window. He wants to abolish ICE. Okay, he wants the Green New Deal. He wants free college. He wants Medicare for all. All these things will break the federal government, will break the deficit. This is something whereby right now we have about $60,000 per person in the national debt. It's going to go up to $120,000, possibly even more. Why? Because, look, things like Medicaid for all and the Green New Deal cost trillions of dollars, huge amounts of money. So he's not looking at things rationally. And also, this thing with eliminating ICE means that any and everybody comes here, okay? Do you like the idea of going to school, sending your children to school, and picking your daughter up every day at a school where somebody who's an MS-13 gang leader sends their child? Do you feel comfortable about that? I don't think you do, okay? This is the Bernie Sanders America that's awaiting us. All right, now, there's something else that's really, really important. You can really tell a person by what they say and what they do. In the case of Bernie Sanders, he's the guy that went to the Soviet Union for his honeymoon, okay? He didn't go to Stockholm. He didn't go to Oslo. No, he went to the Soviet Union for a honeymoon. That's strange. Okay, something else. Bernie Sanders. Okay, Mr. Scandinavia. No, that's a lie. He's counting people. Here's what he said. The American dream is more apt to be realized in South America in places such as Ecuador, Venezuela, and Argentina. Okay, I said this before. All right, and this is serious. I repeat, the American dream is more apt to be realized in South America in places such as Ecuador, Venezuela, and Argentina. Bernie Sanders, forget about it. Now, something else that's even more serious. Bernie Sanders had people in his campaign stating that they believe in gulags. One guy out in Iowa said that Kyle Jurek, that, hey, they have to go into MSNBC, drag reporters out of there, and light them on fire. This is crazy, all right? He talked about gulags. He talked about re-education camps for people, reign of terror. And the amazing thing is, Bernie Sanders' campaign did not say anything except they regarded it as gossip, political gossip, okay? How's that? That's pretty strange. And then he says to people, be careful what you say. Maybe somebody's listening. Now, instead of condemning this person, no condemnation. For somebody who's talking about a reign of terror in America, re-education camps, setting journalists on fire. Bernie Sanders is a scoundrel. Okay, now, I want to deal with something that's really basically connected to values, okay? I've lived with Hispanics pretty much my whole life. I now live in Peru, Spanish-speaking country. The kids are all Hispanic. My wife's Hispanic. The thing about it is that Hispanics have respect for old people. Very important. Very important. But Bernie Sanders takes that and he throws it out the window. I'll tell you why. Because he wants kids to get free college. Free college is ludicrous. It's going to cost $2 trillion. And what's going to end up happening is that the elderly are going to get the short end of the stick. That's correct. The elderly at the short end of the stick. Why? Because that's what happens. You can't do it all. The elderly end up getting a bad deal. I'll give you an example. My mother, may she rest in peace, she was working till she was 77. Social Security did not pay enough. Okay? Tell me, why is it that we need to give free college to kids when they're young? They have to learn a work ethic. So they work as waiters, they work as waitresses, they work cleaning tables, they work cleaning apartments, they work loading trucks in factories, doing work in the fields, whatever it might be. Okay? Hustling to earn money, to learn a work ethic. When they're young, they have to learn a work ethic. But no, Bernie Sanders, his values are not your values. His values are the values of people who are communists. All right? So tell your Hispanic friends, Sanders, he's a communist. Have any doubt? Why is it that he praises places like Venezuela? Why is it that he campaigned for Socialist Worker Party candidates in the 1980s? People that believed in the Soviet Union, people who believed in communism. Bernie Sanders is a fraud. He's that glass of what you think is Coca-Cola, but it's actually something else. So, Bernie Sanders, avoid him. He's the enemy, all right? If you came to the United States to be better off and to enjoy the American dream, Bernie Sanders is enemy number one for your family and for your values. Over and out. Share this video far and wide, especially with Hispanics who, unfortunately, too many of them are excited about the idea of voting for a communist. He says he's a socialist. He's a commie. Thanks.